The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of vandalism. The jar before you may have looked opulent once, but no longer. Now it's covered in grime, its paint chipped away, and its jewels long stolen. The soul jar rocks slightly, light flashing from underneath its lid. On its rim, you can just barely make out the name Gratiana. As soon as you touch the jar's cracked surface, you see a vision of splendor. Silks, fine food, and decadent lechery. But underneath it all lies bone and blood. The vision shifts. You see burning villages, slaughtered women and children. You see her, purging wand in hand, standing amongst it all. She throws her head back and laughter echoes in your skull. A shadow falls across her, and you see a large, weeping face. She reaches out as if to comfort, but Brachus drags her back. You see her fall into the mire of the swamp, trapped. As you pull your hand away, you can feel a deep, longing sadness in your soul. Is it regret, or just sadness for a life that used to be? The terrible vision fades.
While she lived a selfish life, she seems to have repented. She should be forgiven.
She murdered children. She cannot be forgiven.
However her life began, it ended well. No one should be damned because of their youth.
The jar sits still. It seems inert. This jar glitters and glows. From within you think you can make out the distant sound of laughter. With a jerk, your mind is pulled to a scene in a tavern. You see a dwarf in the center of the room, joking us all around roar with laughter. All bar the zombies, who are slavishly serving food and drink. The door opens, and a tall, beautiful woman stalks into the room. She's flanked by heavily armed guards. You can't make out her words, but see the fear in the dwarf's eyes. The dwarf mutters a word, and the undead lurch towards the intruder, but are cut down like wheat. The dwarf tries to run, pushing her friends into the woman's path, but is grabbed before she can escape. As she's dragged away to a tower, you hear her cursing Brachus Rex and his whore. Even when she's thrown inside and the door sealed, you can still hear her shouts. You pull your hand away from the jar, your head swimming. You can feel the dwarf's cold terror still twisting in your gut. The vision fades.
I've rarely seen such cowardice on display.
Honestly, making the dead do menial work sounds kinder than having the living do it.
Being locked in a tower was more kindness than any necromancer deserves.
The jar on the plinth before you seems ancient, but is in surprisingly good condition. It's covered in pictograms that you can't understand, but you're sure you just saw one of them move. The pictograms spin to life, and you're dragged into a dream. You see the lizards of the ancient empire turning their backs on you, casting you out into the wilderness. As you roam, the human apes turn away from you, all but one. One smiles, one opens his arms, one says he'll take you home. Brachus Rex. He promises power for a price. He picks off your golden scales, one by one, stripping you down to the bone. He promised you a crown, but all you got was shackles. You try to fight, try to reclaim what's yours, but a woman takes you by the hand and leads you to a tower. He promised he'd take me home, you cry. You are home, she smiles as she seals the door. This is where you belong. Your hand drops away from the soul jar, your skin prickling. In the back of your mind, you hear a small, scared voice whimper before fading to nothing. The long-dead lizard's visions fade.
This is the price of pride and greed. The villain got what he deserved.
One can't help but have a bit of sympathy. Who wouldn't want to return to their home?
What he did shames his people.
The soul jar stands on its plinth, glowing softly. From within, you can almost hear the whisper of a voice. You see, or rather, you feel, a far-off land. Frozen breath hangs in the air, pine needles brush your cheeks, and in your arms you can feel a weight, a body, dead. But you have hope. Your vision swims. You're older, but perhaps not wiser. You march at the head of a shambling host, the enemies of Brachus Rex melting before you. The scene twists again. Now Brachus stands before you, a beautiful woman at his side. You lash out in treasonous rage, but cold arms bind you. You're sealed away in a tower. Your screams fill the darkness. You feel a jolt and open your eyes to see the soul jar before you, lying still in the vault. Your hand falls from the jar and grips the pillar as you try to calm your ragged breathing. The necromancer's memories fade to black, but the feelings remain.
The memories of a necromancer. What could be more vile?
No one deserves the fear and pain I felt in that vision. Not even a necromancer.
One must wonder how many more lives they took. How much misery the scum caused.
A soul jar rests between two fallen columns, emanating a faint odor of seaweed and timber. When you touch the glass, your vision wavers. You emerge on the prow of a fine ship. Your armor pulses with enchantment, dominating those who draw near. Your flag flies for Brachus Rex, a tyrant who traded for your soul. With his power, your flesh and blood is no longer relevant. The vision fades as the soul thrashes, trying to sever your connection. To be soulless is a horrible, empty fate. You seek out Brachus's vault, but the moment you reach the soul jar, he ensnares you. Thus imprisoned, you can only dream about what is out of reach. Your soul and that alluring armor. The vision shatters as the soul squirms away from you, curling up in the bottom of the jar. The soul jar pulses with trapped life force.
It was madness! Big fire boom, lightning crash! One moment sun, the next I feel darkness inside me, then noise! So much noise! Clank, moan, clink, groan! I hid in a stump. I'm not a stupid squirrel. I have much stowed away for hard times. But I saw them! I saw the shinies! Not fun! Loud! Fire and steel! Crash, bash, boom, splat! It was warm, then it was cold, no one left, just salamanders! They like the meat. But I saw the shinies, 4 of them, round. Darkness left, then light again. Warm, saw glints in sand and dirt. Yay! Okay. I hope you find shinies. They make happy.
Sorry to see the back of these swamps.
You've done well so far. Keep it up!
Make this work. It's my honor to serve you, sir.
And? Have you found them? Did you bring the soul jars? They are relics of great power. Please, you must give them to me. If I can make an offering of them to Armadia, it could aid your cause.
It's peaceful here.
She reaches greedily for the jar, tearing the cap off. You see a green glowing light emerge from the jar, enveloping Gratiana.
By Armadia, I feel wet. Oh, Goddess, I can feel your tears upon my face. I suppose you deserve to know. Before I knew Armadia's grace, I was a very different person. I was the concubine of Brachus Rex. But more than his lover, I was his partner. I discovered his power to feed on the source of others, and I allowed it to... No, I made it happen.
I'll not be sorry to see the back of these
As his strength grew, so too did mine. There is nothing you cannot do when you sit on the lap of a powerful king. And I did it all. But power changes a man, as he changes his nation. Brachus grew paranoid, angry, murderous. I tried not to see it. I told myself it was fine, that the stronger he became, the stronger I was. What stupid lies. I gave him more and more, trying to win him back to me. I offered him the source of whole villages. He devoured them and demanded more. The lands outside were once green and beautiful, until I came, until I turned them over to him. Now all's poison, and the dead are restless. Armadia is merciful in her love. I found this shrine while hunting a band of wizards. I found the goddess weeping for her children, and I wept too.
It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
She pauses for a moment. If she had eyes, you're sure she'd be wiping them.
Through Armadia I saw my sins, and I could bear it no longer. I threw myself from the cliff at the entrance. I tried to rid the world of my evil, but Brachus would not allow it. He brought me back from the Hall of Echoes, locked my soul away, and demanded my obedience. Even in death, he commanded me. Only when 2 source hunters ended his curse was I free. Since then, I have returned here and spent centuries trying to heal the pain I've caused. And now...
She drops the now empty soul jar to the ground, smashing it to pieces with her foot.
You have my thanks, sister.
She starts to speak, but chokes back a sob instead.
Thank you. I can't... I've never known such kindness. Thank you for everything. May you walk forever in Armadia's grace.
Thank you. You were missed.
It's peaceful here, but I'll not be sorry to see the back of these swamps.
Blessed Armadia, grant these soldiers your protection. I pray you will strengthen their spells and set their blades aflame.
Did you see?
I pray you will bless their
Gareth's
armor,
back.
so no curse
He's here
may
to take
pass
us
it.
home.
I pray you see them safe. I pray this in your name.
Finally get out of here, now that Gareth's returned.
We appreciate your hospitality, esteemed Gratiana.
My welcome is yours.
I told you, lass, we'll be heading home in no time.
Blessed Armadia, grant these soldiers your protection.
Did you see? Gareth's
I pray
back.
you will strengthen their
He's here
spells
to take us home.
and set their blades aflame. I pray you will bless their armor, so no curse may pass it. I pray you see them safe. I pray this in your name.
It's peaceful here, but I'll not be sorry to see the back of these swamps.
Take heart, Leia. You're stronger than you know.
Thank you, Gareth. We can't wait to go home.
Glad you're with us, Leia.
Thank you, Gareth. We can't wait to go home. Hello again, sweet one. Yes, of course, of course.
She extends her arms, reaching towards you with a look of total concentration on her eyes. You feel the collar start to twist, a living, writhing thing fighting for survival. With a scream of tortured metal, the collars snap, falling broken from your necks.
No more choking. No more silence. You'll never be a slave to them again. And we're so grateful to have Gareth back. Thanks to you, we have hope. Thanks to you, we're going home. The Divine's blessing upon you, friend.
I told you, lass. We'll be heading home in no time.
Blessed Armadia, grant these soldiers your protection.
Did you see? Gareth's
I
back.
pray you will strengthen their
He's here to
spell
take us home.
and set their blades aflame. I pray you will bless their
Soon
armor,
we'll be done here.
so no
Proud to have you
curse
at my
may
side.
pass it. I
It's
pray
my
you
honor
see
to
them
serve
safe.
you, sir.
I pray this in your name.
I told you, lass. We'll be heading home in no time.
We can finally get out of here, now that Gareth's returned.
Did you see? Gareth's
Blessed
back.
Armadia, grant
here to
these
take us
soldiers
home.
your protection.
Soon we'll be done here. Proud to have you
I
at my
pray
side.
you
Divine
will
blessings.
strengthen their
Your
spell
Good to see
teaching
Gareth
and
serves
safe
you
set
and
well,
their
sound.
sir.
blades aflame. I pray you will bless their armor, so no curse may pass it. I pray you see them safe. I pray this in your name.
Did you see?
I told you,
Gareth's
lass.
back.
We'll be heading home in no
He's
time.
here to take us home.
I'd say we should stop to talk, but I'm swamped. Don't make much of it one way or the other, but the farther we get away from the joy, the better. There's got to be a way off this island.
And set their blades aflame.
Quite
I
right.
pray
Do
you
seek my counsel. I highly recommend it.
Get out of here, now that Gareth's returned.
I pray you see them safe. I pray
The
this
Red
in your
Prince
name.
takes on a reserved air, and you've the feeling he'd blush if such a thing could be noticed.
Secret of my soul, I said. What poppycock. Didn't sound like me at all, not in the slightest. So drop it.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and
Indeed.
sound.
Tyr Sendilius, if I'm not mistaken. Always was rather the slow sibling in the Pantheon, wasn't he? Quite so. I suppose you too met with somewhat of a disappointment. For we do have to wonder, can a god be called a god still, if they have to plead with another to assume the powers they seem to have lost?
Grant these soldiers your protection. I pray you will strengthen their spells and set their blades aflame.
Of course I did. Only I'm not foolish enough to let it buy my loyalty.
Gareth's back. He's here to take us home.
I pray you see them safe.
The air out here is a damn sight better than in Fort Joy, eh? Me too. A god I don't believe in told me things about myself I don't believe. Yeah. Well, what can I say? Whatever we believe, we still need to live in the here and now. So, let's get back to work.
Ifan tips his fingers to his temples and saunters ahead.
My weapon is yours.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
Blessed Almighty, grant these soldiers
Did you see? Gareth's back. He's here to take us home.
Frozen ground in the middle of a swamp. What's going on? A winter dragon! What on earth is it doing chained up here?
The dragon stares you down with flinty, intelligent eyes. He tries to speak, but his jaw is bound tightly by the same thick chains that shackled him to the pillars. Unreadable glyphs mantle this ancient pillar. Braided through thick iron rings, source-infused chains bind the dragon tightly. knock hard against the wood, searching for a hollow space or hidden lock. No matter where you look or touch, the door remains stuck.
Such barbarism. What happened here?
An old elf's pained gaze passes between the crucified. He seems on the brink of tears.
Dear ones, not like this. Not like this. Not like this. They're as good as my family. But I cannot heal them. I cannot heal them. So much pain. They are changed. That Dallas woman did something to their minds. They won't be moved and they can't be healed. They resisted at all costs. They can't even be healed. Using such magic on them would kill them now. Such beautiful souls, corrupted by such evil. Where you find shriekers, you can trust the Divine Order is hiding something they desperately want to keep private. Fate of my dear ones proves there must be some such thing on this very island. Stay away from shriekers if you want to live. I know not how much longer my friends here have.
Mercy.
Mercy!
Smoke, blood, and carnage. The Magisters didn't spare a single seeker.
You're stumbling away from the shoreline, a deep wound in your side. Behind you, the remains of your ship slip beneath the water. You press on, you and the others. A clearing further inland, a camp, a Magister camp. They weren't supposed to be here, yet here they are, twice as many in number as you and my friends. You reach for your sword. But the sky is already thick with Magister arrows.
I've spotted something.
Look! A large ship sits just offshore.
We've already had our little chat.
She hides her joy behind a cool look.
Well then, you have done us a service. I must find the others and get the hell off this goddamned island. I suggest you do the same.
With a nod of respect, she turns to leave.